Forget everything you thought you knew about voting. That sacred promise of universal suffrage, the idea that everyone voting automatically means fair, inclusive leadership, is a lie that's crushing your hopes right now. You feel that anger, don't you? That brutal sense of betrayal when you pour your heart, money, effort into founders, startups, movements, only to watch those in power continue to ignore the voices that matter. Why? Because democracy by headcount is shallow, superficial, a loud crowd drowning out the few who truly innovate, lead, and build. You've lived the frustration of false representation. You see talent wasted, ideas smothered, vision crushed, not by lack of potential, but by systems that reward always the safe bet, the average, the complacent majority. This isn't just unfair, it's deadly for progress. What if the system chooses comfort over excellence? What if the collective voice you rely on is exactly what keeps you stuck? This is the core of the lie. Universal suffrage guarantees only numbers, not the wisdom or courage to move society forward. The real power hides in the hands of a few rare individuals primed to transform everything. Founders who break rules, investors who back the impossible, leaders who refuse to replicate the stagnant status quo. But the system dilutes their power by forcing equality into a mold that destroys difference. You feel it, that suffocating tension between wanting radical change and being held hostage by the illusion of everyone's equal say. It's maddening. Here is the raw truth you need to grab with both hands. True inclusive governance does not come from universal suffrage alone. It comes from a drastic break with old thinking. It demands a shift from quantity to quality, from mass approval to empowered, enlightened networks of the capable few. Sounds controversial? Good. Because the comfort of the many has never sparked revolutions, only slow decay. What should you do? Step 1. Stop worshipping vote counts like sacred scripture. Votes are not your power, they're just noise. Instead, obsessively identify and connect with those rare collaborators who don't just follow the rules, but redefine them. Build autonomous networks that transcend borders, silos, and outdated hierarchies. Invest your energy, capital, and influence not in chasing majority approval, but in lighting up the path for exceptional individuals who command authority through merit, vision, and grit. Step 2. Cultivate your own selective meritocracy. Insist on value born from results, not identity or popularity. Apply brutal discipline to every partnership, every venture. Those are the engines of real governance that includes everyone who deserves to be heard, not the lazy crowd. Reject the seduction of comfort in sameness. Embrace productive individualism. Push yourself and your close sphere to stretch beyond inherited limitations. This is how you create a dynamic ecosystem where governance is inclusive not by default, but by the deliberate elevation of the most capable. Step 3. Rise above nationalism, tribalism, and identity politics, the traps that make universal suffrage a cage. Your loyalty is to no flag, no party, no fixed identity. Your loyalty is to the network of disruptive minds aiming to redefine reality itself. Only by adopting a global, strategic mindset can you break the illusion that democracy equals fairness. True freedom comes from wielding capital, influence, and partnership as instruments of radical change, not mediocre maintenance. You felt the crushing weight of a world that pretends to give freedom, but kills the self with rulebooks and rituals. Now is the time to shatter those chains. Demand governance that reflects the rare genius of the few, not the average of the masses. Connect obsessively, choose ruthlessly, act decisively. This is not about being popular. It's about becoming unstoppable. Your mission is clear. Stop being a passive player in a broken system that pretends universal suffrage guarantees freedom and inclusion. Be the force that builds a new kind of inclusive governance, one rooted in true merit, fierce individuality, and an unrelenting will to transcend every limitation. The future belongs to those who refuse to settle for false promises. It belongs to those who take control and remake the world on their terms. This is your moment. Seize it with fire.